Hi peeps, welcome back to Alex and Big T's Extravaganza.
Extravaganza.
Well, as you guys know, you haven't seen Big T in almost any of the vlogs, but I did say that he would like kind of get in later on when he starts to get comfortable, because
It wasn't a
even
comfortability thing. It's just I'd have to make my money. You know what I'm saying? Money come first. I mean, family come first. You know what I'm saying? But money comes right after that.
yeah. But like I told you guys, he was working a lot and stuff, and he used to work overnight, and he would leave in the morning, and he was gone for majority of the day, and I was always at home all the time. So, but now, as you guys can see, Makai is here. Well, you know, well,
Born
he's here.
fresh.
Yeah, and you guys
Fresh
can
out
see
the
from the
flesh.
video and the
Came straight out the womb.
pictures. Okay,
The triangle thing.
They get it. They get it. And the pictures in the beginning of the vlog that I put during the labor and delivery in the beginning. Basically, I just wanted to talk about how my labor and delivery went and how it actually went down and stuff like that. Where's the phone? I'm still recuperating from baby burn, so I still wrote down, set of notes. That way I don't make the video too long for you guys. Where do you put the phone? Okay, so here goes the phone. First off, as you guys know, that I originally wanted to do my labor and delivery with my midwives at the maternity center. But I ended up going to the hospital to get induced instead. I was about 41 weeks and 4 days at the time. I felt like my midwives weren't listening to me. Like, I was trying to explain to them, like, look, I'm getting further along. What are going to be the next steps when it comes to induction and stuff like that, and they weren't giving me any direct answers. They're just like, oh, let's wait it out and blah blah. And as I mentioned in my previous video, I've had a still one before, so stuff like that was concerning me because I didn't want the same thing that happened the first time to happen again. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to the hospital and make sure everything's okay, because I also was getting decreased fetal movement as well. So just want to make sure everything's okay. So I went to the hospital. It turned out that my amniotic fluid was low. He was measuring about 9 pounds. They said give or take, he would probably be a pound less or a pound more. But I was praying to God that it was not a 9 pound or 10 pound baby. Thank God he only came out 8 pounds 7 ounces. But yeah, but I had originally went to the hospital. I planned on going alone because at the time I wasn't talking to him. I was mad, so I was like, I'm gonna pack my stuff and go deliver a baby by my damn self.
But I still went. That's what real niggas do. I still go. Yeah, that's what I do. Me.
Anyways, but yeah, so then I ended up, telling him like, I'm gonna go to the hospital and do this and do that and whatever the case was. And then we ended up going to the hospital, and they told me my amniotic fluid was low and that I needed to basically they said that they would take me and induce me, considering that my past as well, that I had a stillborn before, and that my midwife should have been considered inducing me, considering what happened with my first child.
Speaking of midwives are just like the hospital. They don't care. They didn't really care about
I think they do care. I just think that they prefer to take the natural way of doing things because they know that a woman's body is meant to do those kind of things. And hospitals tend to pressure you into doing things that you don't need to do, which I am.
Still want your money though.
But it has, Thomas, I understand. Anybody who's working needs money. They got a
I
family
understand
to
they
take
need
care
money.
of.
They need it, but how they was at your chest, like, oh, listen, we need you to be here every week so we can get this money out your insurance.
Yeah, it came to a point like I was seeing them like twice a week and stuff, like, and it was just like, yo, why do I need to come here every time for you guys to do the same thing over and over again? Like, things I can do at home. Like, they just like checked the measurement of my stomach. Like, it stopped growing after a certain point. My stomach wasn't even growing anymore. Like, the centimeters stayed at 36 centimeters, I believe it was. Like, at a point it just stopped growing. And it was okay, I keep coming here to grow and to pee and stuff like that. Like, and they'll get weighed. Like, I can weigh myself at home. I can use a measuring thing to measure myself at home. So I was just like, man, like, I've started to feel like the appointments were pointless. But as I said, but they mainly focus on doing things natural. That's the only reason why I went with a midwife to begin with. And like I said, I'm gonna get into like how the hospital like to pressure you into doing things that you don't really need to do. After they told me about my whole ultrasound results, they also said the different induction choices that we had, which was the Pitocin, the Cytotec, and the Civadel.
Which one you took?
Civadel. I ended up going with Civadel. Apparently there's a lot of side effects with Cytotec.
That was the one that you had to, like, every 2-3 minutes, they gave you like a...
No, that's when they stuck up my hoo-ha and basically had to check me every 2 to 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went with Civadel. Apparently Cytotec has a lot of side effects when it comes to infants and, the mother and stuff. So I ended up going with Civadel. I didn't want to get Pitocin. Pitocin was unnecessary in my case, and especially since it makes your labor contractions worse than what they actually are. So I ended up going with the Civadel. Another thing is, they were asking me if I wanted a blood transfusion just in case anything happened.
Yeah, we don't.
I was like, no. I said,
We
I don't
don't
want
do
no
blood
transfusions.
transfusions. We
Don't
don't.
listen to this guy. When I
Listen.
tell you these people got up my butt, they was like, what if you die? Like, the hospital, like, they're so crazy. Like, they were like, what if you die? What if you let out blood? So if you're on the table, you're dying, we're going to let you die. Like, they were literally telling me stuff like that. And I'm looking at these people like, so you guys are making it seem like y'all going to sit here and kill me during labor. They was like, okay, we're just going to let you die then. No matter if, even if you change your mind, we're going to let you die.
That would have been the best lawsuit ever.
And then this guy was like, oh, Alex, he started getting worried. Oh, are you really sure this is your decision? I'm going to back you up 100%, but I just want to... That's not true? Because you looking crazy. You did do that. He's like, you sure you want to? Because, you know, what if something really happened? He started getting all worried and letting the people play with his mind and stuff.
I mean, goddamn, it's my family. You don't think I'm going to get worried? That's how
Man, I was looking at him like, look, I know people who die from blood transfusions. Like, I don't need no blood. Like, put some dirty blood in me. If it's meant for me to live, I will live. If it's meant for me to live, I'll be alive. Like, you know, I wasn't planning for no C-section or nothing, so I was like, I'm not taking no blood. And I know sometimes during labor you lose a lot of blood as well. But like I said, I wasn't planning on having a, you know, struggle delivery. I was trying to, you know, even though I was in a hospital setting, try to still make things go as natural as it can, even though I did take the Citadel. Or getting induction is already not natural, but you catch my drift. How long it took the Citadel to work. They gave me the Citadel at 2 o'clock in the morning. I started getting contractions at 4 o'clock in the morning. They weren't really strong. I walked through them and, you know, did all that stuff. Thomas ended up going to go get us some food from IHOP. Like, in the beginning, I was like, yeah, I'm going to eat. I'm going to, you know, this and that. I need energy. But once those contractions started hitting, I wasn't even worried about eating. I was like, yo, I need to open up and get this baby out. Like, that's how I started thinking. I didn't even eat my IHOP until after, you know, Makai was out. Like, you know. So, it ended up, it ended up working 2 hours later. By 2 hours, I was at, I think, 3 centimeters after 2 hours. I was at 3 centimeters. And then, like, basically every hour or two, I was going up a centimeter. So by 4 o'clock in the morning,
It's amazing how they check your little vagina thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like every, 10 minutes, like how they was sticking their finger in there. I was like, oh my gosh, like they have no sympathy.
That's another thing I hate about hospitals. I hate, like, them having, like, mind you, throughout my whole prenatal visit.
Make it seem like you some type of porn. So let me just put that in there. Oh, no, she's not open? No? All right. She's not open. We're going to come back in an hour. I'm like, oh, wow.
No, but it was intense. Like, I'm just, mind you, right? First things first, I've never had a pap smear because I've never been sexually active. This guy, first guy. But I've never been sexually active. So I've never had a pap smear.
Ever.
Yeah, I've never had a pap smear.
Comment if you want. I'm going to check you.
But I've never had a pap smear or nothing like that because even when I tried to go get one, they're like, what's the point? You're not having sex. So you're going to let us take your virginity? Like, what you... My bad, guys. Camera issues. But, yeah, like we were saying. Yeah, so, like, they kept checking me and stuff, and it was like, like I said, like, I've never had a pap smear before, so the fact that I hate getting checked throughout my whole, you know, maternity visits and stuff, like, I never got checked to see if I was dilating. Within the last week, I never got checked to see if I was dilating, if I was open. Even when I had, like, you know, sometimes when I was concerned and I had to go to the hospital because I was spotting or stuff like that, I still wouldn't let them check if I was dilating or stuff because I'm that uncomfortable, people touching me and stuff like that. So, with
How you that uncomfortable?
I already know what you're going to say.
Okay.
It's
I'm just letting you know. He's here. That's all I gotta let you know.
That's different.
He's here.
It's different than when it's like a doctor sitting there fondling you and stuff, and it's not like pleasurable.
Hey, listen. He's here. Okay, that's all I gotta.
Anyways, but yeah. So, so that's basically what happened with the Cervidil. Then after like 2 hours, I was at about 3 centimeters. They checked me at 4 a.m. And then after that, I went up to 4. Then I was going up to 5. I was basically progressing. Then after, like, around 3 in the afternoon, I think it was 3 in the afternoon?
I'm not sure.
Or 1 at...
Enjoy your time. I was sleeping.
Yeah, he was sleeping. I was in pain, and this ninja was sleeping. Like, when I tell you that, I was so mad. I'm like, Tom, and he just staring at me. What do you want me to do?
What can I do? I don't get it. Like,
I don't know
what to sit here?
He could at least be like, it's okay, you know, breathe through the contractions. Like, you give me stuff like that. But he was just like, he was just staring at, like, he literally, I'm like, it hurts. And he's like this. And he just looked at me lost as hell. And I'm like, dog, you're so useless. Like, I was so pissed. Like, I was mad. I'm like, you learned nothing in childbirth class. Like, nothing.
I learned you're supposed to support.
Exactly. And stand there and help the contractions. But instead, you
How
stand,
can I
you
help the
stare.
contraction if it's in you? Like, it's not
Okay.
in me. I don't know
Yeah,
how it
but
feel.
even if you don't know how I feel, like,
Just
you
like how
still
you don't
couldn't.
know how it feels when people cry and you just looked at them stupid.
No. Like, I
Same
didn't say I
difference.
can't feel people crying. I'm just saying, like, if someone's crying because, like, let's say a death of a family or stuff like that, like, I can't say I know your pain if I've never been through the actual
Exactly.
pain. But
I
the
don't
thing
know
is,
your
that doesn't
pain.
mean that I don't sympathize with the person. I don't know their pain, but I'm be like, look, I'm
I
sorry
like
for
how
your
many times
loss,
I try to show some
and
type of
I'll,
sympathy
try to
for you.
caress the person, hug them, try to make them feel better. But with him, it was just like, he was just staring at me. Like, it was not no, it's okay, or hugs, or, sitting there trying to know. Instead, he was like, what am I supposed to do? I might as well sleep so I won't be tired later. Like, he doing all the work. The hell? I'm looking at this guy like, are you serious? Like, I was so mad. I started walking around. I got on my birthing ball. My nurse was like, no, you cannot walk because you have the cervidil in you. You don't want it to slide out. And blase, 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 blase. So then they ended up taking the cervidil out once I reached about, I think it was 5 to 6 centimeters. That's when they took it out. And they were like, okay, you're opening up, blah, blah, blah. But then they checked me, right? And I was doing well. Like, I was up to 5 centimeters. I was doing well. But then this lady came in and she checked me and she was so rough. Like, after that, all hell broke
She
loose.
was Jamaican, that's
My
why.
contractions
You know how
got
them
went.
Jamaicans get.
Yo, you
The jerk
can't be
chicken.
you can't be racist.
The curry
You can't be
goat.
talking about, no offense
It's
to
not about being
anybody.
racist. I think they put too much salt in their food. That's
No,
why their cholesterol so
no
damn high.
offense to anybody. He
No
doesn't mean that
offense. No
offensively.
offense.
Talking about a
I'm not.
Jamaican thing. What's wrong with you?
They are aggressive people. What is he talking about? The majority of all
Jamaicans
islanders
are
are very
aggressive
aggressive.
people. No offense to no one, but
Like,
I think that's just
you
people
see
from the
how loud they
Caribbean in
are? Like,
general.
yeah,
Caribbean
pretty
people
much.
are aggressive people.
Aggressive. Like,
But she came in and she just like really shoved her hand in me, and
you
I'm like,
gotta.
and I was in pain, and then my contractions went from like a 5 to like a 9 after that, and I couldn't take it anymore, and I'm like, dog, I really think they did something, and then she like a gush of blood came out when she did that, and it was just horrible,
She popped it.
and I was so
She popped it.
mad,
She popped
and then
something in
she
there.
was like, I don't know what she did, but I was just like, all I know is that I was in so much pain, like so much pain. So then that's why I was like, you know what? Forget this natural crap. I'm getting an epidural. So I asked for an epidural. It took about an hour before I was even able to get that damn epidural. I was crying the whole time. Like, I'm like, yo, where's this lady? Blah, blah, blah. Like, and then she stuck a big ass needle in me. I still have the mark on my back. Like, it's a bump there. And come to find out, that epidural didn't even freaking work. It worked for like 30 minutes to an hour. I got like a little bit of sleep. But then it kept like stopping. And I'm like, what the hell? So they gave me a button to like keep reissuing it. And it wasn't working. And then after about, I think 2 hours, I went up to 8 centimeters. I was at 8 centimeter at about, it was like 5:30 by then. I was at 8. So then lady was like, you know what? Now that you're at 8, we're gonna put you on Pitocin. I'm looking at her like, why do I need Pitocin if I'm progressing? Like there's no need for more drugs. I'm trying to, like I said, natural as possible. And she was like, yeah, but we need you to open up a little faster and blah 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 blah. And I'm gonna say, like, I haven't even been in labor for 24 hours, and you over here trying to rush my labor, telling me I need to move faster for what? Like, And then again, this guy was supposed to be my support system over here like, oh, maybe, they need Makai to come. I think he was just so excited about trying to hurry up and get him out. And I'm sitting here like,
That's
no,
every
like,
guy. That you
no,
push. He almost
but
out there.
by
He
trying
almost
to
there.
put me through more pain, my epidural already not working, my contractions already crazy, and you
So how
trying to
you
give
gonna get
me
out?
Pitocin, more
How
contractions.
you gonna get
My
out?
body was opening by itself. What I needed more
No,
Pitocin
no, no.
for?
Don't even come here. It was. Remember, you came. You went to the hospital,
Yes, but then my
right?
body,
You
what
could
I'm
have
saying,
waited.
after I got the Civadel, my body was progressing normally. Like, it was no
Oh.
problem. So, and I'm looking at it like, what the hell I need potassium for? So I'm telling her no. And she's over here like, oh, we have to. Telling me what I have to do. And I'm looking at her like, and I'm telling her no. And she did it anyways. So I'm just looking, and I got so mad because I'm like, yo, like, what the hell? So then I got to a 10. And they're like, okay, they turned off the epidural, which wasn't even working anyways. And then they're like, okay, push. I'm like, why are you guys telling me to push? Unnecessary pushing. I'm like, why are you guys telling me to push? I'm like, aren't I supposed to wait till I get the urge to push? She was like, no, you should just push now, blah, blah. Mind you, at that moment, I realized that the epidural only worked in my bum.
Oh. We're doing the vlog. But I got you. I gotta figure it out. I'm gonna find it for you. Well, finally for you. Oh, you want to introduce yourself in the vlog,
I
homie?
just want some rap.
You want to introduce this is my brother.
Jamal, say
Slick.
hi.
J Money right there. You feel what I'm saying?
East side.
East side.
No,
all
no, no, no,
day.
none of that stuff over here. No, we're like,
Gang, OGB.
none of that stuff over here. They're
Nah,
lying. We
man. It's
lied.
all
Psych.
educated people here, man.
Psych.
For real,
Just
everybody's
kidding.
trying to get diplomas and degrees, man.
Yes, let them know.
You gotta
None
check
of
the
that
basket.
gangster stuff. No gangster stuff. We're not raising gangsters over here, guys. What's wrong with them? Every time some east side gang, gang, gang. Ain't no gangsters over here. My son is gonna be a white boy from the suburbs. I'm trying to tell you.
Stop telling people I'm against.
That's not what I said. But yeah. So I was saying.
Check in the basket, Jamal.
So like I was saying, so they're telling me to push, and
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
stopped
yo,
it?
I paused it. All that gang stuff was recorded.
All that gang stuff.
That's what I get for acting a fool. But like I said, then they're telling me to push. I'm like, I don't see the reason for me to push if I don't feel the urge to push. So then like it turns out that the epidural
Oh, sorry
did
for the
work.
messy room, guys. I mean, everybody go through the
It
little
was just a
messy room
closet.
phase.
Whatever.
It is what it is.
I don't care. We real life over here.
We are dead ass.
So they were telling me to push, and it turns out that only my bum was numb. So the epidural worked on my booty. So where I was supposed to feel the pushing, now I couldn't feel to push. So everything was
She
just
had
like
no feeling in her boogie.
basically, if I needed to doodle, I wouldn't have known. Like, you know, that's not funny. And then
No feeling in your boogie.
not even that. They had the audacity to tell me while I'm pushing, "Oh, you know you pooped, right?" Bro, and I'm looking at him like, "That's what you're worried about right now? Like, I'm in pain. I'm contracting." My bad, guys. The little one was fussing. Had to do some breastfeeding. But yeah. So, he was worried about me pooping. I was worried about the pain. And then I was just like, man, I don't care about pooping. I felt that I pooped, though. I'm not gonna lie. I did feel that I pooped. But it's not like I even tried. Like, I wasn't... Like, I was trying to push, but then I pooped. But then they're like, oh, that's good because that means I'm using my bottom. But my bottom was numb, so I couldn't really feel nothing in that area anyways. So... I did a whole hour and 30 minutes of pushing. An hour and 30 minutes. And the crazy thing about it is I didn't actually feel the urge to push until like the last 10 minutes. I think it was 10 to 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, I feel like I need to push now. And because the whole time I was pushing, I was not getting nowhere. Like, they had me pushing for no reason. I wasn't getting nowhere, you guys. And then towards the end, they were like, oh, look, the head's starting to come out. And that's actually when I had the urge to need to push. So I'm like, y'all had me doing all this pushing for no reason when I couldn't just wait till I had the urge to push to actually push. Because, you know, your body tells you when it's ready. What's that finger for?
Because when you was pushing, I saw his head every time you pushed for an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, but the thing is, there was no progress. Like progress of him actually coming out. His head would pop and then come back in. It was doing the same thing. Pop out, come back in. Pop out, come back in. That's all he was doing. That's not progress.
I mean, I saw his head.
My point is, it wasn't any progress. Progress where his head started actually sticking to the hole and actually started to push its way out for real, for real.
Yo, the head looked so crazy when it came out. I mean, yeah, when he came out.
I wish he had videotape when I was pushing and stuff, but he didn't.
No.
He didn't. I wish he did. I wouldn't have put it on the vlog though, just for my personal, to see, because there was no mirrors in the room. But I wish he did though. But yeah, so it was basically pushing, and like I said, I didn't feel the urge to push the last 15 minutes, and that's when actually we started to actually have progress, and he actually started to come out when I had the urge. So I felt like that was unnecessary pushing. Like, I pushed an hour and a half, got tired all for no reason when I could have just waited till I actually felt the pressure to push. Another thing, the length of my labor. My labor was about 15 minutes long. I said 15 minutes. I wish. 15 hours long. My contractions, I got my first dose of Silver at 2 a.m. My contractions started at 4 a.m. And he was born at 7:59 p.m. Yeah, he was born at 7:59 p.m. Basically 8 o'clock. But yeah, I was in labor from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. basically. But I was in labor for, that's 16 hours. I was in labor for 16 hours. I'm tripping, I can't count. But I was in labor for about 16 hours. So,
I'm just joking, it's an inside joke.
I was in labor for 16 hours. So that was I'm not gonna say the worst 16 hours of my life. It's like the last couple hours were the worst because that's when I was in the most pain. The beginning I wasn't in that much pain, I was able to bear it. But I was just ready for him to come out. And he did finally came out. He was 8 pounds 7 ounces. So the whole thing about him being 9 pounds in my womb, that wasn't too off. They were like really close, almost right on the money about his weight. He was 20 inches long, which I kind of expected. His dad 6'9", I'm 5'9". We're not really short people, so we're expecting a long person here. As you can see now, he's 5 weeks, and like look at him, like
It's a 7-footer right here, man.
right, like he's already like long. I checked.
LeBron, he's coming for you. I'm letting you know right now.
LeBron, we don't know if he's coming for you. Whatever he decides he wants to do with his
Listen,
life is what he's gonna do.
listen.
What if you want to play football? What if you want to be a
If
professional
I want to
ballerina?
play football, a ballerina?
There's male ballerinas who make a lot of money.
You want him to
I'm
be
not
a
saying he
ballerina.
want to do that, but you never know what he would want to do with himself. You can't just automatically say LeBron, he's coming for you.
Hey, listen, it doesn't
What if he's
matter.
not into sports? There's a lot of tall people not into sports.
Okay, that's fine.
But like we said, whatever
But
he chooses to do, I wouldn't wish that.
He does want to play some type of sports,
Yeah.
just to go to school for free.
All I'm saying is whatever he want to do, we're behind him 100%. Support. We're not going to try to pressure him into one direction. Of course, we're going to put him in all kinds of activities. Yeah, basketball, football, soccer, baseball, everything. But whatever he chooses is what he's going to go for, is basically what I'm saying. So that means anybody in any league, he's coming for you. Not necessarily basketball. It could be any. All y'all can get it. Keep that in mind. But yeah, so he's pretty long. When he's 20 inches, now he's 22 inches long. When I had him, he was 8 pounds 7 ounces, and a week later he went up to 9 pounds and 3 ounces. So I was like, oh man. Well, he actually lost weight when he left the hospital. He went down to 8 pounds and 1 ounce. So he gained a whole pound and 2 ounces in a week. So I was like, okay, he's growing pretty fast, but then he eats a lot, so that kind of
A whole lot.
Whole lot. He eats like every 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
But that's when I was only breastfeeding him. Now he's breastfed and formula fed. So he probably takes 2 hours, 3, depending on how much he slept the night before. So if he didn't sleep at night, he'll probably sleep for like 4 hours straight. But if he slept the night before, he's up all day eating. That's all he does is eat and eat and eat.
Eat,
and eat.
Poop, sleep.
And eat. Yeah, that's basically all he does.
Poop,
Eat,
poop,
pee,
and sleep.
Eat, poop, sleep, pee, poop, eat, poop, pee, sleep. And yeah, that's about it with all my labor and delivery. As most people already know, well, people close to me, when he was born, they were trying to do the whole HPV, I think it was called, right? HPV vaccine. We're not vaccinating him. We don't plan on giving him any vaccines. We hope that he just, inherit everything normally, and his immune system fights it off. That way he can be immune to most of the, again with more interruptions, but basically so we're saying that for his system to be immune and have basically all the, vaccines and all the sicknesses inside of him, because basically vaccinations are them just putting the sickness or the virus in you so that your body learns how to fight it off. So
it's like cracking a liquid. That's all it is. Cracking a bottle.
Exactly. So it's the same thing as you just getting sick on your own and fighting it off. Their difference is they're just putting it inside of you while you're a baby. So we just, opt out of that.
It's really a detox. You know, right?
Detox.
The vaccine is a detox.
I've never heard of that. I heard it's just them putting the virus inside you, because if you notice, every time the kid gets vaccinated, the child gets sick. So, but yeah, so yeah, we just opt out of that. So hopefully he gets 6 months old. And I heard that breast milk also gives immunity when it comes to vaccinations.
That's the best vaccine ever.
So,
it's the breast milk.
Whatever I'm
Straight
immune
out the
to,
chest,
he'll get
homie.
immune to. Hopefully, we're gonna take a I'm gonna do a titer shot for him. Titers, I think it's called titers, teeters, whatever you want to call it. Shot for him to test his blood after maybe at 3 or 4 years old, to see what he is immune to afterwards, so they could test his blood. It's nighttime over here, guys, so I am tired. But yeah, so basically that's it. I hope you like and subscribe our video below, and I hope you enjoyed the feature with Big T
and Lexianne.
Lex.
No, Lexianne.
Lexianne is gonna be the name of our daughter, but I don't plan on having any more kids. I thought this was a girl, so that's what was gonna be his name, but he's a boy, so I guess it'll stay in my head.
Once again, thank you for watching. Like I said, comment below. Whatever questions that you have for us, feel free. Even if it's rude or disrespectful, it is what it is. We're all human. We don't like each other. It is what it is. And thank you for watching once again.
Until next time.
Holla, bye.